Hi, guys. Bear with me today because lighting is not being my friend. I had to move everything around and I'm just going to talk to you because this isn't my thing and the light coming through the window is brutal. You could even see my face. And I like to see me, so I know that I'm not making goofy faces at you. And if I take my glasses off, I can't see you. So, anyway, let's get started. Have you ever met someone and within like 30 seconds, you're already emotionally tired? Like they walk into the room already mad, already irritated, already complaining, and suddenly everyone else's mood just drops. And you're standing there thinking, wow, that was aggressive for no reason. And if we're being honest, sometimes we're that person too. And it got me thinking about something. Salt. Salt isn't supposed to be a whole flavor. It's supposed to bring out the flavor that's already there. And people are kind of the same way. Some people walk into a situation and make everything better. And some people walk in and suddenly everything feels heavier and bitter. Welcome back to Crumbcake and Chaos. This is episode number 6. I'm Carrie Shelley, mama 4, wife, world record holder, side hustle queen, and owner of Enchanted Cakes and Treats, and currently still the reigning chaos queen. Thank you for showing up and being part of the chaos with me and being patient this week. I know this episode is a late one. This week has been a whole lot of nopes, not today's, day after day this week. And that's okay. It's part of life. And all I can do is continue to try to show up for you guys. So please be patient with me. Thank you. So, are you salt or are you salty? Salt is not a season, although some of you definitely use it like it is. But that's a totally different story. It's meant to enhance, not take over, not change the flavor. Do you bring out the natural flavor in someone? Do you enhance them? Or yourself for that matter? Or do you bring out the bitter and yuck? Are you salty? I know you've seen that meme. Salty? Are you salty? You know those people that just make things better without even trying. Like, you walk in stressed, overwhelmed, already having a rough day, and somehow, after talking to them for 5 minutes, you feel lighter. Their smile lights up a room. The energy they give off just makes you happier. They are patient when things go wrong. They don't snap when someone makes a mistake. They give people grace when they're having an off day. The friend who checks in when you seem off. The person who makes you laugh when you're stressed, who refuses to let you go about your day until they get a smile from you. The coworker or employee who helps instead of complains. They just pick up the pieces for you. They see you're tired, and maybe they just scoop up the baby so you don't have to worry. They know you haven't eaten in probably way too long, and they bring you food. Or they go and just heat your lunch up for you and hand it to you and say, eat. Or the friend who checks in with you when you seem off. The person who makes you laugh when you're stressed, who refuses to let you go about your day until they get a smile from you. The customer who's kind and patient when things are delayed and go wrong. The partner who says, we'll figure it out. It'll be okay. Some people just make situations better without even trying. And if you think about it, you probably remember those people more than the bad ones. The ones who showed up for you when you needed it, even if it was just a touch of light from a stranger. I bet you remember that random compliment from a stranger over somebody saying, get out of my way. Sometimes they don't even realize how much they've helped. Just being kind or patient changes your whole day. How much light they bring when things are dark. Kindness changes the whole energy of a situation. One good interaction can turn someone's whole day around. Sometimes all people need is a little grace. Some people are just safe to be around. Are you that person for others, for your staff, for your kids, for yourself? Do you make the day better for other people or worse? Not everybody brings that energy into a room. Some people walk in already irritated, already complaining, already mad at the world, miserable, and suddenly everybody else feels it. And honestly, nobody likes being around someone who makes everything heavier. You know, that person where after 5 minutes, you're like, wow, I'm emotionally tired already. Please make it stop. Some people bring stress into every single situation. Every problem is huge. Every inconvenience is a disaster. Every conversation turns to negative. They're just unhappy because they're too salty. When you're salty all the time, you've ruined the flavor for everybody else. And listen, if I'm being honest, sometimes I can be that person. It's been me. I have snapped when I'm stressed. I will never forget. I hadn't been open maybe a year, maybe 2. Things were not great at all. Money was bad. orders weren't coming in and they were going out wrong. We were getting bad reviews. Things were running late. The husband and I were fighting all the time. The kids were dreading being in their sleeping bags at the bakery. And I was a mess. I was really overwhelmed that day. Things were not going right. I was already in a mood. And I went to pick up a container of sprinkles that were on a shelf above my head. It slipped, the container tilted, and the sprinkles went down my shirt and through the bottom. And yes, it's funny as hell now. And I so wish it was on video, because it would have been the perfect fall. But I was not having it that day. I picked up the container and wung it across the bakery. The sprinkles that were left went flying. My niece's eyes bugged out of her head. She looked at me and I ran out crying. I went to the side of the building, hands up against the building. I'm beating on the building and I'm crying and I'm screaming and I'm trying to let it all out because I was so frustrated. I got myself together. I came back in. I look around, but I had ruined the mood. I had ruined everything for that day. There was no laughing. There was no music. There was no talking. It was silence because everyone was scared to death that I was going to snap. I got salty. I've been short with people. Yes, I know I'm short. I'm always short with people. But I definitely had the people who suck the energy out of me. And I just get short and snappy. I've had customers who make a complaint. Maybe it's even my fault. And I feel my face drop. I feel the energy shift. And I go from salt to salty, like the top of the salt shaker fell off and just poured. I have been overwhelmed, no patience left, and just miserable to be around. I have been that person to family, to friends, to customers, certainly to my husband and my kids, and it is not a fun feeling. My kids can tell you a few stories that might make you question my character. The stress used to eat me alive, and man, was I salty. And I hate that I let the stress and overwhelm, the lack of sleep, and honestly, probably being really young and stupid and impatient, control who I was. You think you know everything in your 20s, but you don't. And then you think you know everything in your 30s and you don't. I used to get so mad at the easiest things. I didn't stop to think what everyone else was going through. I didn't stop to think how the stress of running the business and life in general was affecting the kids and my husband, what it was doing to my home life. My kids like to laugh every time we use a crock pot. There may have been a time that I was so salty that I threw a crock pot full of pot roast across the kitchen at my husband. Yeah, not one of my finer moments. Some of you are probably going, Jesus, what is wrong with this woman? And some of you are probably asking, did he deserve it? He did. And it's kind of an embarrassing story looking back at it. But regardless, it's the hard truth. And that's what this podcast is about. Hard reality and truth. And I by no means have all the answers all the time. But we learn and we grow and we adapt. So while I try my damnedest to be patient and kind, which I have come a long, long way over the years. Occasionally, like everyone else, I can still be a little salty. And it's not because I'm a bad person. It's because I'm tired and life piles up. Stress makes all of us salty sometimes. Bad days happen. Just don't live there. Everybody's fighting something, including us. Do not let your bad mood become someone else's bad day. Don't be an energy drainer. You don't want to be the person who walks in the room and everyone dreads it. And they say, "Can we leave? Is it time to go?" And the thing is, we never really know what someone else is dealing with. That person who seems distracted at work might not have slept because their kid was sick all night. The person who seems short-tempered might be dealing with money problems or relationship stress. The person who seems off might be dealing with anxiety or depression. Maybe they had a seizure last night and they're still showing up because they have to. Running a business, you see this all the time. Someone shows up late or distracted, and your first reaction is frustration until you find out what they're actually dealing with. Family illnesses, breakups, financial stress, child struggles, mental health battles, eviction notices. The car broke down on the way to work. Sometimes people aren't lazy. They're just drowning. And honestly, sometimes we're the ones barely holding it together. We're smiling in public while things aren't okay. We're running a business while we're exhausted. We're posting wins on social media while privately struggling, pretending things are fine. Handling responsibilities like that's the only thing we have going on. Most people you meet are fighting battles you'll never see. Somewhere, someone is struggling and they'll never let you see it. So sometimes the kindest thing you can do is just give people a little grace. Last week, this woman picked up her cake. And man, was she rude. Like, she walked in and I knew, I could feel the energy. It was going to be a problem. She was unhappy. And of course, I wanted to get defensive. And the more salty she got, the more aggravated I got. But I took a breath and I said, okay, let me see what I can do for her. And what she complained about, I guess I'll take fault. I didn't think it was an issue. My employee didn't think it was an issue, but she did. So I told her I would fix it if she wanted to come back. Well, that wasn't good enough for her. That was still an attitude. And she got a little more sassy. So I got a little sassy. Explained to her that the policy states if she's unhappy, she has to give us the opportunity to fix it. She told me she was running late. I said, well, I'm sorry, but you're 2 hours late, so I would have had time to fix it if I had known. So told her, just give me the time, come back. We finally agree. I told her I would stay open late for her because she didn't know she could make it back by 7. Got it. The whole time I'm fixing this cake, I'm getting pissy. Like, I can just feel it. I'm playing her words. I'm playing her attitudes. I'm redoing the whole cake that looks fine because I couldn't just fix it. I had to redo the whole cake. Well, she walked in and she wanted to apologize. And it stopped me dead in my tracks. Okay, I'm being an ass. She looked at me and she said, I'm sorry. I left and I called my best friend and I told her I was a monster to you and that you're never going to want to do my cakes again. And I felt horrible for letting her salt make me salty. And then we chatted for a good 10, 15 minutes about life and stress and kids and the things that were going wrong and the things that she had going on. And it was the perfect kick in the ass reminder that I did not give her the grace that she needed. I had no idea what she was going through or if she was just a salty person. But that doesn't mean that I needed to be salty, even if she was just a salty person. I've talked to so many people through the years of customer service. Their mom just died. Their dad just died. They lost a child. They just had a miscarriage. Somebody got diagnosed with cancer. Somebody got fired or laid off. Divorce, bankruptcy, addictions. You have no idea who is facing what. That guy speeding down the road that you look at and you think, what a dumbass kid. He's going to kill someone. Maybe his mom is dying and he's on the way to say goodbye. Maybe it's me and Vincent's father rushing to the ER, going 90 miles an hour on a little back road because him and Vincent fell down the steps and he landed on top of Vincent, smashing his very soft little baby head. He drove like a lunatic, weaving in and out of traffic, passing people on oncoming traffic, driving like my 3-month-old son's life depended on it. You don't know. And I say to the kids all the time, we still laugh, maybe the guy really just has to poop. You have no idea. None. Sometimes you need to lead with a little grace. Pause before reacting. Ask questions instead of assuming. Be kind when it's possible. And also, it's okay if you're the one struggling. So if someone seems off tomorrow, maybe lead with kindness. Because one small moment of grace might be the thing that gets them through the day. The smallest act of kindness or encouragement could save someone's life. I think sometimes we forget how much impact our attitude has on all the people around us. Not just the ones we love, but the people at the grocery store, the cashier at the gas station, the stranger at the bus stop. You never really know what someone is carrying that day. And you got to decide if you're going to make things a little lighter or a little heavier for them. And listen, we all have salty days. We're tired. We are stressed, overwhelmed, stretched too thin. It happens. Just don't live there. Don't become the person who makes every room heavier. Most people you meet are already fighting battles that you can't see. So this week, try to be the salt that brings out the good in people, not the salt that ruins the flavor. And if this episode resonated with you, just know you are not alone. We're all just figuring it out one day at a time. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I will see you next week on Crumbcake and Chaos. Hopefully on time next week. And remember, when life feels crummy, there's always something sweet to look forward to. And hey, if any of you have any super salty stories you would like to share, I would love to hear them because I know I'm not the only one. Have a great day, guys.